Alright. Let me know if the audio sounds like the levels are good, and if you can hear the music and the game sound. Yes, we indeed have the shoe for Bright Spark, along with a new Civ theme, the music theme. So got the second house going down. Looks like Bright Spark doesn't do two houses at the start like most people will do. Got some exploring happening here. Forage bushes forward for Bright Spark. We got a lumber camp going down on a back forest. And we got a second forest off to the side here, but not a lot of forests nearby for Bright Spark. But gold and stone are back, which is nice. And then we've got Grausamer. And unfortunately, he's got forage, gold, and stone. I guess the gold's kind of out to the side here. But berries in the back and forests. I would say two of them are pretty far back. And kind of sideways to the back. But yes, this is a deer generation, so that's going to favor some aggressive play. I think that's what Grausamer likes to go for. And otherwise, seems to be a pretty standard start. That I'm noticing that Grausamer's ahead with resources collected. That might be the Goth's Hunt bonus in play, which really helps some aggressive play here. Both AIs haven't gotten Loom yet. Or no, never mind. Grausamer's gotten Loom. But that makes sense because Goths can research it instantly. The deer is kind of giving the scout a hard time. So there's the barracks going down for Grausamer. Yeah, so if the barracks is delayed, I'm not exactly sure what might have happened there. I did take the version of the AI that was uploaded to the DEA Mod Center right before the deadline, before the first round. So we'll see if that continues to be the case for the future games here. So we got a gold mine coming for Grausamer. And then we got a barracks coming for Bright Spark. We should have pretty close feudal times for both AIs. Looks like we got a scout for Grausamer. The militia pushing in the deer. I think the Eliza's AIs are some of the few that will push in deer with units besides scouts. So here we go. We got the scout attacking. Bright Spark doing a lot of garrison in the TC. The scout is technically in range of the TC, but might be in like some sort of like weird zone where the town center automatically ejects the villagers. So I got some more militia coming in. We got a range going up for Bright Spark. And man-arms in for Grausamer with that speed boost that comes with the upgrade. Second archer range for Bright Spark. And Bright Spark's villagers scatter. The mining camp was kind of late for Bright Spark. And Bright Spark abandons that, but we've got an archer coming out. Let's see how Grausamer reacts to archers. Looks like they're going to chase the archer down, and because of the recent infantry patch, those man-arms could face down the archers, but now the archers went into TC range. Let's see. We got some other... got this guy being fought off by a bunch of villagers, but... looks like the Bright Sparks archers are fighting off the man-at-arms. Let's see, so it looks like one archer was killed, but 6 units lost for Grausamer. But 3 villagers is not bad for an early rush. We probably want a little bit more, but it's not bad. Definitely will cause a bit of an eco loss, and definitely some idle villager time. And that scout is keeping Bright Spark's archers occupied. And the scout is down. Bright Spark's scout is coming forward. Some pretty good villager reactions. These are definitely better than my own AIs. Attacking the scout and going immediately back to gathering. And Grausamer has a skirmisher out with no upgrades. Meanwhile, against Bright Spark archers with +1 of both attacks. So skirmishers will be the right response here, but without blacksmith upgrades, you're not going to do that great against the archers. But the man-at-arms have the +1 armor, so that'll be a key here. They can eventually chase down the archers, but you have to have some good numbers for the man-at-arms to actually chase them down. And we got a stable coming up. Maybe we'll see some scouts from Grausamer. It kind of depends if we can have the Furyuko running from the farms here by the TC. If those villagers stay garrisoned, you might not have the Furyuko to keep up scouts. Let's see, will this archer go down? And that man-arms goes for a different target. So Bright Spark's idle TC time is still higher than Grausamer's, but the total eco time is a lot worse. So at this point in the game, Bright Spark has caused a bit more eco idle time. I'm gonna check something in OBS here just a second. If y'all would want to chat some things, I've got a chat overlay up. You can see if the chat overlay will show on stream. But it looks like Bright Spark's army is still idling Grausamer's town here. Haven't been able to get enough army up to keep these villagers at bay, at the military units at bay. Okay, cool. Looks like the chat overlay is working. It's a bit tiny font though. Yeah, I think I'll play around with the chat overlay after this game is done here. Don't want to distract from the game too much. But we are seeing bright sparks. Micro continuing to idle Grausamer's economy and staying away from Grausamer's tower. So not too much happening here, unfortunately. We got castle going up, getting started for bright spark. Got horse collar coming as well. So if we just look at the economy, you can definitely see the impact of the idle eco. It's gonna be hard to come back from this. And looks like Elias calls the GG. I assume that's good to go on to the next match then. So it's taking a look at the stats here. So we got military numbers here. Yeah, I wish I could see when... Let's see, so Grausamer did get a blacksmith, but I'm curious what time that blacksmith went up. I wonder what would have happened if Grausamer had been able to get some scale mail armor during the attack. Like send the 3 or 4 bandit-arms forward and then get scale mail armor. I don't know if the build has enough resources to make that happen. But I think against archers, that extra armor might have been important. I'm saying that as someone who doesn't have a lot of knowledge about like the best strategy for man-at-arm rushes. So taking a look at the stats. Just kind of scrolling here for people to see. All right, so next we've got the arena match. Yeah, we can definitely see Grausamer's potential. I think had the fight gone a bit more of Grausamer's way during the rush, it could have been a really close game. So, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to take a look at the chat overlay, see if I can increase the font size. Yeah, I guess I'll have to look at it maybe for next time. Probably need to set it from the plugin itself. So, oh well. I'll see if I can maybe... Alright, so back in the game. Hopefully it's a little bit better for the chat overlay. So looking at Bright Spark says we got Turks and Bulgarians. And then Grausamer is always Goths. And here we go. All right, in Castle Age here, or in Capture Age here. Alright, so we got Bulgarians for Bright Spark. This will be a set that we haven't seen yet this tournament. And we got chickens on this arena map. So for... let's take a look at the... So we got the scoreboard up here. We got a mill for Grausamer. The gold in the back and chickens in the back. The stone to the side. Not too much to see here. The resources in arena aren't as important. I do see that Bright Spark's scout is idle. I don't know if that's bugged or not. But Bright Spark's got a lumber camp up. They got a forces jutting nice in toward the town center. Gold off to the side here. The forage bush is forward though. Ah, yes. Lumber camp instead of mill. I'm kind of curious if Grausamer uses DUC, drop site placement. Just thinking that these are pretty close together. They kind of look like the general's drop site placement. Sometimes they land up right adjacent to each other. Let's see, in this game we definitely have faster resource collection from Grausamer, with some idle eco from Bright Spark. But like in most games, that might be from idling the villagers in the TC to shoot down the boar. I'm not exactly sure. So I got a mill coming up. One thing in Bright Spark's favor is that it got no idle TC time where the Grausamer is 3 seconds behind. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. The bigger difference is just being ahead on resources collected. And take a look at that. That being said, Bright Spark just jumped ahead on resources collected. Maybe that's just the board being dropped off. So Bright Spark's at 23 pop, the Grausamer's at 22 pop and going up. So I'm curious to see what the Grausamer might be doing as a rush here. We might be seeing some men-at-arms attacking the walls. That'd be the most straightforward adaptation of the Arabia strategy. We'll see if Bright Spark is ready to face that. Bright Spark still hasn't gone up to Feudal Age yet. Just started now. And Grausamer has found Bright Spark. And Bright Spark has also found Grausamer, though just a tiny sliver of the wall. Alright, so the barracks is up, and we got one militia on the way, and I assume we'll have a few more here. Meanwhile, Bright Spark is still a minute away from Feudal. Grausamer's got the mill on the chickens. And Bright Spark is building that up now. And there's a couple of militia going forward. No man-at-arms come in yet, but probably want the numbers first anyway. So we got 4 militia for Grausamer. Since they're attacking the walls, they should be safe from being attacked. Looks like we got some laming going on here. Those are neutral chickens, but still. But only one of them is killed. If the pup is unchanged, that Laming Strategy won't cause as much damage in the future, since I doubt that Bright Spark would be able to go out there and start gathering from them, but that food would not spoil immediately. So we got Man-at-Arms in for Grausamer, and this gate shouldn't take that long to go down. Take a look here. So we got a blacksmith for Grausamer, double bit axe in, but nothing else yet. Let's see what sprites we're going for. So we might. So we got Castle Edge coming up and some stone. I wonder if we'll see some Krepos. We got Scale Mail coming in. No defense for Bright Spark otherwise. We got stone mining coming. So we got, I think, Krepos at 350 stone? I can't remember off the top of my head. So we got enough stone for one Krepos, I think. We got a second lumber camp for Grausamer. But it might have been nice if it was on this wood, but I guess maybe you can't be picky. Forging coming in for Grausamer. And at Bright Spark, okay, so Bright Spark went up. I didn't watch to see if any HP jumped up. Probably jumped up a little bit. But it's probably good that Grausamer started attacking this in Feudal Age because I don't think it went up the full, I don't know, 800 hit points. Alright, here we go. So we got a whole bunch of villagers going outside. So we got, okay, we got a castle. No crossbows, but forward castle. And Grausamer should see this, but we'll see if Grausamer responds. I don't think Grausamer just won't see these villagers, but this archer might find them. But Grausamer, oh, there's an archer or a villager going by, but that archer can't see him. But I think Grausamer should see this castle here. Well, this archer just might be a scout. We got a bear here helping Bright Spark. Let's see, so Grausamer is going for the second gate instead. And a siege Rorschach coming up for Bright Spark. Ideally, this army should be going for the eco, but I suppose it's harder to it's hard to script for. It's a lot easier to just set gates as high priority and then have them target that object first. So that castle has indeed gone up for Bright Spark, attacking the gate. And do we have any military coming in for Bright Spark? We got some idle TC for Bright Spark. I didn't see what caused that. Not a lot of idle eco for Bright Spark yet. But those castle builders are coming home. So not seeing a whole lot of follow-up here from Bright Spark. Got the gate destroyed, but otherwise it's just a forward castle. All of Grausamer's military is going through the other gate. This is one advantage of not using TSA defense, because otherwise all of the military units would go and try to attack that castle probably. But instead they're all coming here to attack Bright Spark, so this will probably pay off. The castle drop might not be the strategy is effective against Grausamer. Yeah, Runde. I can't remember, but at some point there was a patch that made it so that Arena never generates walls on the backside. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Alright, so we got some villagers coming forward. We're building the Krepos here. But it looks like Grausamer is send a lot of units toward this castle now. Going back and forth here. Not sure what's causing that man-arms to go back and forth. So we got some man-at-arms and skirmishers hitting eco a little bit, but not causing any kills. That stable will go up for Bright Spark, I think. But it looks like Grausamer's military is trying to target this castle, but is being sent away so the units don't get killed. And looks like it's just a hard code to go in counterclockwise direction. So eventually kind of hit this and then walk around the castle. But this archer is actually avoiding the castle fire completely. But Grausamer is going to need to find a different tactic here than just making man-at-arms, archers, and skirmishers and going around the castle. Needs to pick a new target. But at the very least, Grausamer is way ahead in economy right now. 21 villagers ahead. We got a castle coming up, which if Bright Spark goes for any military units, will be fairly effective at defending the town. There's enough space for Bright Spark to go through this way and attack. We'll see if Bright Spark's able to take advantage of that at all. That siege workshop's not being used for anything. So Bright Spark's wanting to go for his second crep post here. We got a ram. This ram by itself might not be enough, but we'll see. But I don't know if Bright Spark has murder holes. We got a iconic here though, so that should be really good for Bright Spark. Bright Spark's been needing some actual military here. So we got, let's see, are those villagers going to be able to build that crep post? Alright, there we go. So let's, just a little count of military. We've got some 12 military units versus 2. We got a Huskarl here from Grausamer. But what Grausamer really needs is to build up some rams here. But I think really what the key will be is Grausamer be able to get ahead on economy and get up to Imperial Age, get some trebuchets, and knock all of these down. If it's not able to mass up a bunch of rams first. We got squires coming in, which should be nice for the infantry for Grausamer. We got a second castle coming for Bright Spark. And we got some dancing villagers. Back forth, back forth, back forth, back forth, back forth. Oh, interesting. Grausamer is trying to build a castle here. Oh, there's going to be a whole bunch of villagers. Those villagers need to get away. If a castle can get built right here, maybe it can go up. Not there, not there. Oof. That's definitely not what you wanted for Grausamer. Oh, a whole bunch of villagers died off there. To the point where Bright Spark now has the lead. And looks like those Huskarls are not being allowed to attack the fortifications. Yeah, so that's a big loss for Grausamer. Way ahead on resources gathered, but you just take a look at the villager drop. Yeah, it's pretty enormous here. military is evening up. But those conics are being kept from doing anything. So what I'm curious about is if either AI will be adding a second town center. We got a Sable for Grausamer. But again, the Grausamer needs to go for some rams here. Alright, we got +1 armor in for the conics. So Grausamer has the gold to go up to Imperial, but not quite the feud. But it does look like he's trying to save up for Imperial Age. If that's not intentional, it's working out well. Because once we can get to Imperial Age and get some trebuchets, I think that's the first player to get trebuchets will be the one that wins this game. Alright, so the Rams coming in. I'll see if those conics are avoiding it for some reason. But we got some conics coming into Grausamer's town. So that Ram went down. But let's see how much damage these conics can do. Let's drag around. I think its screen keeps on going down. Okay. Just comparing HP of all of the military units here. Those skirmishers aren't going to do a whole lot against the conics, unfortunately. Especially, I don't think they... Okay, they have +2 attack, so that's something. We got this castle in the back, which is helping out with the eco, but we now got another Krapos coming forward. So Brightspark's making a little bit of progress, but unfortunately for Brightspark, that Krapos is in range of the castle. I'm not sure if... Yeah, this castle's not in range of the Krapos because the Krapos just has less range than the castle. Yeah, that Krapos is just barely in range. It's the little nick in the corner here. Alright, which building will this ram go for? Oh, it ends up going for another one, it looks like. But let's see, so I got another Krapos coming for Brightspark, maybe. But those, I think, unless the builders are lucky and get in right there, they will just get attacked by the castle. Oh, or the villager. So, I was talking about Grausamer saving up for Imperial Age earlier, and right now it's mostly just maintaining its food amount. So, it might not be an intentional saving up for Imperial Age, but hopefully that food grows higher. Right now, Brightspark is continuing the all-in and not saving up for Imperial Age at all. Murder holes for Brightspark. That'll be nice against Rams. Alright, let's see this if this Krapos is going to go up. Once again, which building is this Ram going for? It might be the castle, unfortunately. If castles are set to a higher priority than Krapos. The Bright Spark is a bit higher on villagers. Most likely because of just not being attacked constantly. But we got a whole bunch of conics coming in for Bright Spark. So this might kill a few villagers. I don't get to hear the sound of the conic's mace very often. I guess it's a flail, not a mace, but you know what I mean. Oh, we got a dismounted one. Alright, so most of the conics are gone. But they got a few villager kills, which is really important. We got a converted conic. Alright, got Devotion and Wheelbarrow coming in for Bright Spark. 52 villagers against 34, so this aggression is paying off. So Grausamer needs to get up to Imperial Age if it's going to be able to hold on to this game. But Man-at-Arms and Huskarls keep on coming in. Let's take a look at Bright Spark's town here. Not doing anything in the back, which makes sense. There's not any resources out there. We got a lumber camp outside the walls. The second one as well. Got one of the new monks here. Not in high res, but still looking nice. Yeah, and this Krepos is going down, but not quickly enough. I bet if we're able to look at the kills, it's doing quite well. We got yet another Krepos coming up for Bright Spark. So either had a lumber camp deleted or destroyed. And so right now it looks like Grausamer needs to build a new lumber camp to have some good, efficient wood gathering. Maybe you could build one right here. Or right here, I guess. But that would require some EOP build line DSC. Check and push time. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work very well. We got a ram, but knocked down quickly here. And Grausamer's lost most of its gold that it needed for Imperial Age, so it's looking like it might be a slow push from Bright Spark to get the victory here. But like I said, the first AI to get trebuchets will win this game pretty quickly, I think. I just hope that one of the AIs can get to the point where it actually gets to trebuchets. Looks like Grausamer bought some wood. That's how it used up its gold. And still needing some, and still needing to build a new lumber camp, but it might be considering these lumber camps good enough. Good old man-at-arms knocking down the ram, but those rams are slowly causing more damage to the castle. Once this castle goes down, that also could be GG. So we got a ram coming here. I think there's a second ram coming. Yep. Castle's now below 50% HP. Here's the next ram. Below 2000 HP. So, definitely enough space now where Grausamer could build another lumber camp, but doesn't look like it's going to. Mining camp for Brightspark. I'm gonna take that gold. A little bit of taunting from Brightspark here as he places another crab post. These four here together like that actually kind of look like it's a castle all by itself. Pretty intimidating. Oh, we got a repairer. But so brought this castle back down to where it was HP wise. A few crepos in the eco. Grausamer down to 10 military and 21 villagers. $65 comics. Got a repair on this ram. So I'm just waiting for this castle to go down. I want to see what happens here. Alright. The moment we've been waiting for. Except for Elias. Brightspark might want to bring those conics in. Not sure what it's doing with them. Unless maybe that those ruins are still kind of counting the castle is still on the map. Alright, gonna call it GG.